Hey there, welcome to Grammar Hacks. I'm Adam, and this is our first episode in a new series, even though we're calling it episode 5. Today, we're talking about a sneaky little grammar bug called the dangling modifier. Believe it or not, dangling modifiers can make your sentences sound hilarious or downright confusing. For example, if I said, driving through the park, the trees waved at me, it sounds like the trees are waving their arms. Obviously, trees don't drive. That weird feeling you got is exactly what a dangling modifier does. It leaves your listener wondering what on earth is actually doing that action. Stick around because we'll break down what these modifiers are, why they're a problem, and often funny, and how to catch and fix them.
I'm Sarah. Absolutely. By the end of this episode, you'll be a dangling modifier detective. We'll give clear explanations, lots of examples, and even practice together. Think of this like a friendly chat between us, with a dash of storytelling and maybe a laugh or two. Ready to dive in? Let's get started.
What is a dangling modifier? A good place to start is with a definition. In simple terms, a dangling modifier is a descriptive phrase, often one that starts with an ing verb or an ed participle that doesn't clearly attach to a subject in the sentence. In fact, Purdue's online writing lab defines it as a phrase that modifies a word not clearly stated in the sentence. Another grammar guide explains it as describing something that's actually left out of the sentence. There's nothing there to modify, so the phrase just dangles with no clear home.
Right. Imagine writing a sentence with a descriptive bit at the beginning, but then forgetting to say who or what it's talking about. For instance, having finished the project, the celebration began. Huh? Who finished the project? It sounds like the celebration did it. That's a dangling modifier because the real subject, who finished the project, isn't named. In a correct sentence, we would say something like, having finished the project, I, we, or our team began the celebration. Then the phrase, having finished the project, correctly attaches to I, we, or our team.
Exactly. When a modifier, like a phrase, hangs around with nothing that it can logically modify, listeners get confused. It's like a tag-along description without a buddy. That's why it's called dangling. It's just dangling in the air. Why dangling modifiers matter and can be funny. You might be thinking, so what? It's just a little mix-up. But dangling modifiers can really change the meaning of your sentence, often to something unintentionally funny or absurd. Let's look at some silly examples to see why we care.
Sure. Consider this. Walking to the store, the bell rang loudly. This makes it sound like the bell is walking. Obviously, that's not what we mean. The phrase walking to the store is hanging there, and the subject of the sentence, bell, didn't do the walking. It's dangling.
Exactly. And sometimes real-life examples of this get even funnier. I once saw a newspaper headline, "To improve test scores, the books were opened." Who's improving the scores? If you read it literally, the books are improving themselves, which is pretty funny and clearly not what the writer intended.
Right. Another one, even after paying for costly repairs, the car still broke down. That makes it sound like the car paid for the repairs. Of course, cars can't pay. The sentence is missing who actually paid. The phrase, even after paying for costly repairs, is dangling because the doer of that action, a person, isn't mentioned. A better version would be, for example, even after Sarah paid for costly repairs, the car still broke down. Now, Sarah is the one who did the paying and everything makes sense.
So, dangling modifiers can create some pretty wacky images. Animals doing human things, inanimate objects acting alive, you name it. The point is, they confuse readers. As writers, we want our meaning to be clear, not unclear or laughable by accident. This is why we fix them.
Common causes of dangling modifiers. One thing to watch for is using passive voice. It's easy to accidentally create a dangling modifier when you write something like, because the door was unlocked, it was opened easily. Who unlocked the door? The sentence forgot to mention the person. In passive voice, the actor is often pushed out of the subject position. English Island notes that when sentences are written in passive voice, we can forget the real subject altogether, theenglishisland.com, leaving our modifier hanging.
Yes. If you notice your sentence starts with an ing phrase or any descriptive clause and you're not sure who did that action, that's a red flag. For example, if you say, running down the hill, the gate was closed. Again, who was running? The way it's written, it sounds like the gate did the running, which is silly. In active voice, we'd say, running down the hill, I closed the gate, or the gate was closed as I ran down the hill, where the actor, I, is clearly doing the running or closing.
Right. You might also combine the phrases differently. For example, to finish his breakfast, the cereal was poured on the counter. Asking who finished breakfast, answer he. We could rewrite, he poured his cereal on the counter to finish his breakfast. Or, to finish his breakfast, he poured cereal on the counter. Now the subject he is present. A quick tip. After you write a sentence with a modifier, double-check the subject right after it. If it doesn't logically match, move things around. And if you're ever unsure, try adding the word who or which in your head. If you end up thinking who was doing this, then you probably left out the who.
Examples and practice. Let's practice identifying and correcting a couple more examples. Speaker you go first. Say this sentence. Spinning on the ice, a laugh escaped my lips.
Spinning on the ice, a laugh escaped my lips.
Who is spinning? The sentence makes it sound like the laugh is spinning on the ice. Obviously, that's not right. The person is spinning. So we should say, spinning on the ice, I couldn't help but laugh. Or, while I was spinning on the ice, a laugh escaped my lips. Now it's clear that I was doing the spinning.
Got it. Here's another. Yelling with excitement, the game was won.
Yelling with excitement, the game was won.
This one sounds like the game is yelling. Silly game. Actually, we probably meant something like yelling with excitement, the team won the game. Or better yet, the team, yelling with excitement, won the game. Either way, the team is the one yelling.
Nice. Fix. Now, let's try a couple where we correct and practice together. I'll say a well-formed sentence, and you repeat it after me. Ready?
Ready.
Walking to school, I realized I forgot my homework at home.
Walking to school, I realized I forgot my homework at home.
Good job. One more. Excited about the trip, Maria packed her suitcase early.
Excited about the trip, Maria packed her suitcase early.
Excellent. You see, both of those sentences start with an ing or ed phrase, like walking to school or excited about the trip, and then immediately name the person doing it, like I and Maria. That way they're not dangling at all.
Conclusion. To wrap up, a dangling modifier is just a descriptive phrase hanging without a clear subject. It can sneak into your writing when you start a sentence with an ing or ed phrase and forget to name who did it. The result? A confusing or funny sentence. We fixed it by making sure the person or thing doing the action is right there. We hope this helps you spot danglers in your own writing. Remember, if something sounds silly or off, check your modifiers. Who's doing the action? Put them in the sentence. Dangling modifiers are common mistakes, but now you have the tools to catch them and correct them.
Thanks for tuning in to Grammar Hacks. We had fun breaking this down, and you'll get even better with practice. Keep an ear out for our next episode where we'll tackle another grammar hack. Until next time, happy writing.